everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the First Kiss podcast. And welcome to the new series, the First Global Series. Today we are honored to have with us guests from Uganda, and they have a really inspiring story for us to tell. And so I first would like to welcome my co-host, Slim.
Hello everyone, here is Slim Majdoub, spokesperson of Team Tunisia in the 2017 edition. Thank you, Fatma, for having me as your co-host today, and I am glad as well to have girls from the TAGA organization from Uganda. We will let these girls introduce themselves. Hello and welcome, and thank you very much for being with us today in this call. If you can introduce yourselves.
Okay, my name is Sharon. My name is Juliette.
Nice to meet you. And next to you is the CEO, Mr.
Mr. Ben Boniface Alanya.
Okay.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you, everyone. It is our big pleasure to have you with us in the First Skills podcast. For those who don't know, this is not a First Global team, but this is an organization which aims to include girls in STEM fields and in technology for the ultimate and big goal of having a better Africa and a better country for each one of us, either it be Tunisia or Uganda. Maybe we shall begin by asking you, what is TAGA and how did the idea of starting this organization come from?
Okay, thank you very much, Aslim and Fatma, for inviting us for this very important episode. TAGA is an organization which stands for Trust a Girl Africa. Now, Trust a Girl Africa is an NGO that is based here in Uganda that started way back last year, but the idea started about 2 or 3 years ago, which has a background that comes from my family, whereby we're about 11 in number, and out of the 11, we have about 8 girls. And these 8 girls, I lost all my parents from cancer, and I'm the firstborn. So I had to come up with an idea that how do I support these girls from my family? So the whole story starts from my family, where I came up with an idea to support the girls from my family, to take them to school, and then to make a better future for them. So I had to think about these girls, and I came up with Trusting a Girl in Africa. So it's an organization that looks at girl child in various aspects, because many times in Uganda, my country, the girls are always left out in everything that they do. People treat men as being very important, and the girls are always left out. So as we thought about putting the girl in the world map, and TAGA has come up to make sure that we put the girls in the world map. Basically, we have about 10 programs that we're running under Girl Child. The first and the most important one is the one we are doing right now, Girl Child in Technology, where we're looking at how do we involve the girls in technology? How do we make the girls to recognize in technology? Robotics, people think it's only for men, but as TAGA, we're looking at no. This is something that a girl child can come up with, and a girl child can even challenge the world. So that's why TAGA Innovations came up with Girls in Technology, and basically looking at robotics. And here are the girls today before you. They're wonderful people. They're the best girls in class, in their classes. And then in robotics as well, they're the best in robotics. So they're here today. Then we also have girl child education, whereby we're looking at the vulnerable girls, the orphan girls who can't afford to go to school. As TAGA, we're looking at how do we pick them and take them to school? How do we create a future for them by educating them and giving them a better future? So at the moment we have about 8 girls that we're paying tuition for, and I'm making sure that they get quality education and they achieve all their dreams. And most of them, their dreams are to become engineers and then doctors. So as TAGA, we are standing firm to make sure that we give them a better life. And then we also have girl child medical care, whereby we're looking at how do we provide health care for girl child, and then how do we provide safe menstrual hygiene for girl child. Because here in our country, girls always miss school because of menstrual hygiene. But as TAGA, we're saying no, you shouldn't miss school. We're going to provide for you these pads. We shall teach you how to make reusable pads, the ones that are affordable for a local girl in the village. We're also looking at girl child rights protection, whereby the girl has a right to life, right to education, and a right to a better future. So as TAGA, fighting for girls' rights to make sure that they have a better future. We also have girl child safe water, whereby we're looking at how to provide safe water for our local communities where the girl child is living. If a girl child goes and brings water, safe water at home, the whole home is kept safe. But if a girl child goes and brings dirty water, the whole home is infected. So as TAGA, we're looking at how to provide safe water for girl child. We're also looking at girl child in music. We just recorded a video of girl child talent where we shall publish on Tuesday. We're looking at how we promote girl child talent in music, the ones that can't afford to go to school, but they have talent in music. So looking at how we promote that talent in music. That is what TAGA is also doing. We're also looking at girl child in environment conservation. In my country, Uganda, mostly where we come from, the trees are being cut down to make charcoal. But as girl child, they need to advocate for a safe environment, whereby the breathing, the having safe breath because of the trees providing good air. And then we're conserving the environment by using the girls to advocate for a safe environment where we're living in. Then we also had a program called Girls in Public Service and Community Service. Basically, these young girls are taken to school, but they don't know about the communities where they're coming from. But as TAGA, we're looking at when they come back from holidays, we want to make sure that they're involved into the activities that takes place in the communities, so that they get involved in whatever takes place in the community. Then under public services, we're looking at how do they understand the country, the taxes of the country, where does the money go? So as TAGA, we're making sure that they're also involved in that. Then we're also looking at skilling a girl child, whereby we're providing technical skills to the girls, like hairdressing. We're also doing taking them for fashion and design, hotel management, catering, any skills that they can acquire. As TAGA, we're looking at also that providing skills for girl child, the ones that can't afford to go to school, we want to get them out of the streets. The ones who are doing prostitution, when they have the skills to do a few things, we're bringing them out of the street and then making sure that we give them skills for better living. Then we're also looking at girl child marriage and teenage pregnancies. In my region where I come from, in Uganda as a country, child mothers are the leading. So as TAGA, we're looking at how do we advocate for a child pregnancy, child mothers, and then as we're looking at that, and then if a girl is a victim of child mother, how do we help the girl out? We help the girls out by providing them the necessary skills, when taking care of their babies, and then making sure that the family is involved in this, are well educated, so that we avoid teenage pregnancies in Uganda. So basically, those are the 10 programs we're running under TAGA. We also have TAGA Children Foundation, where we have a few orphans we're taking care of right now, and we're providing the best we can do for them so they have a better future. So that is basically all about TAGA. Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you. That's really inspiring. Although we were planning for this episode to be about the STEM field and girls in technology, hearing of all these 10 aspects of TAGA, not only in the education, not only in the technology, it is more of a humanitarian project aiming to alleviate the girls, the community of your country to a better condition, to a better life, to the life they really, every human being deserves. And that's really interesting.
Yeah, such a noble goal, and I think that you are providing an asset for those girls to be future successful women that could potentially be role models for other the little girls that need guidance.
You mentioned something earlier. You said all of these girls want to be an engineer. I want to ask these two girls, what do you want to be in the future?
Okay. I think living finishing here in very well, but only my sister wants to be an engineer. But me,
Sorry, can you please repeat and raise your voice a bit because we cannot hear you quite well?
okay, I'm like, me myself, I want to be a doctor.
Oh, a doctor. Okay. And I forgot your name, the other one.
Me?
Yes. What do you want to be in the future? Sharon,
Juliet.
is that right?
I want to be an engineer in future.
Okay. What drives you to be an engineer in the future? What do you think this is going to look like? Why?
Like connecting things in at school. I like my team robotics future.
Sorry, can you repeat because there was a problem with the internet connection?
Like robotics. And I like it so much. So I'm having an interest.
And okay, what a nice goal. We hope for you to be an engineer and we hope for you to be a doctor. And why not seeing you laureates of your countries and one of the top engineers and top doctors in Uganda and in Africa as well. When did you first join TAGA and how was your journey throughout this 1 year? I don't know how long have you been in this organization, but how was your journey? What did you do exactly?
Okay. It was through my brother who inspired me to join TAGA because of what he told me about the organization. He told me about the robotics since I love the robotics. I knew some of the programming language, so I was admiring how could it be nice to join this organization. That's why I had to join that organization.
And Sharon, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, who is Sharon among you?
Me.
Me. And the other one is?
Juliet.
Juliette. Okay. Juliette, what have you done throughout these years in TAGA and when have you first joined this organization?
Yeah. So through my uncle, he told me about the nice things in TAGA. So I admire like dancing, like robotics, connecting things. First, my dream was I should be an engineer in future. So I heard about robotics. I admired it.
Actually, when we were arranging for this episode of the podcast, we were told that you were like 50 kilometers away from where you're going to have this, and this really drives us to conclude that you have such great families to introduce you and to encourage you to join such organizations and to build for your future on your own. What do you think is being a girl in the community in which you exist before and after joining TAGA?
Okay, it has been so hard for me, like in a community whereby people are just there. Like if we go in our community, we have only one bore on. It's where we get our water from. And in the community, people don't know how to keep around the water and know if around the water is the environment of the water is dirty, just know the water is also dirty. That's giving people dirty water and infecting many of the community members.
And Juliet, the same question for you.
Like some people in the village, they don't have even latrine.
Okay, so if we talk about something else, we talk about robotics. Is there anything that you have worked on? Any small or mini project?
That's like At first we told we have just started the organization. We are still building some up. Like the one we are still continuing is saving, and it's not yet online. We are still to complete it and make it online.
And is there anything you're aiming for robotics? Any aspirations for the future? Anything you would like to do? Any future goals?
Okay, with robotics, we are like me myself. I feel like knowing all the programming language. Even though I told you I want to be a doctor, but I still have love for the programming.
So you want to be a doctor, but you're still thrilled at doing this robotics field. How do you think can such two? They are not that different. They are both scientific domains, but how can science in the medicine aspect of things and also robotics be interconnected together?
Okay, like they seem like they don't connect, but in my mind, I had two options. If I'm preferred to be a doctor, then I want to be an engineer. That was my plan.
Oh. So, what I meant is that's really interesting. What I meant is, how do you think in the future, being a doctor, how will having a background in robotics affect that? How will you benefit from this experience you're doing right now? Because you will be one of the fewest doctors who have a background in robotics and in engineering. So this will be a plus for you, right?
Yeah, like in like let me say in manufacturing medicine, they do use some machines, right? So for me, as I assume it will be easier for me to use them if I have these skills of robotics.
That's so interesting. And Juliet, you said you wanted to be an engineer. Is there any goal you have for the future, for even for like 1 or 2 years in advance, like during those two coming 2 years, for example, any project of robotics, anything that you wish you had?
Kindly pardon the question for Juliet.
I said, is there anything in the two upcoming 2 years, for example? I mean, in the short term period, anything that in the robotics field that you want to do, that you see yourself doing, and what are the things that you wish you're having right now in robotics, of course?
Like at her home, we are having like radio, but sometimes like it can get spoiled. So, means money is not there. So I want to start organizing, want to start preparing like repairing radios at home. Because means sometimes money is not there at home to buy new radio. For us to easily get communications in the villages.
How are you seen in your community? Let's talk about the small community, your family, as a first scale community, let's say. How are you seen in your family? Are you the only member who is doing some robotic stuff?
Yeah, I'm the only member.
And how is that looked at from your siblings, your father, your mother, your extended family, uncles and relatives? How is that seen? Is that considered as a pride for the family? is it considered as a normal thing? How is that?
It's considered as a pride of the family. Like,
We're so glad to hear that, and we are sure that it is the same for Sharon as well. Mr. Ben, we talked the last time about we had a call and we talked about the future coordinations that can be between our team in the First Kiss Club and TAGA Foundation. We don't want to be the ones who are talking in this podcast because it's yours mainly. This episode is yours and not ours. So if you tell the people who are watching us, what are the things that you wish you're having in TAGA Foundation, in TAGA organization, sorry?
I beg your pardon?
The last time when we talked about the coordination between the two countries and the two organizations.
Yes.
Can you tell the people about that? Because as I said, the episode is yours and not ours, so we want you to be speaking of this.
Okay, thank you very much, Salim and Batman, for talking to TAGA Innovation Girls. As we said the other time, that TAGA Innovation is looking for partnerships across the world and looking for the right people that we can connect with so that we can have the best team in this country, which is being managed by the girls. And as per TAGA, we all know that TAGA is purely about girl child, and we're looking at how do we lift up the girl child. And in TAGA Innovations, we're looking at how can we connect the two countries between Uganda and Tunisia, and then we see if we can develop a program together and we be doing the same thing together. How do we have exchange programs whereby TAGA Innovations can be coming to Tunisia, and then we do a few competitions together, and then also your team coming here to Uganda. Then we organize a few teams and we meet also other teams in Uganda, and then we display some skills that we have between the two teams, and then we have better partnerships. So basically, the reason for this is to see how we can connect, and then we partner with your organization, and then we see how we can link the two, how the students can meet, my students also meeting with your students, having that personal relationship one-on-one, whereby we share a common problem, then we come up with a common solution, and then the two are coordinating and then sharing a common thing and achieving a common goal. So basically looking at partnering with your organization and then making sure that we know each other better. My students also know your students much more better, and then we coordinate and have a personal relationship. That is a major thing that we are looking at the moment.
Actually, we're looking at that the same way you do, and we would be more than happy to be helping you and to have a better connection with you Ugandan girls. As we're coming to the end of the podcast, I want to ask each one of you, Sharon and Juliette, if you tell me about one thing you wish in the long future that your country has and that you feel you can make a change in that.
beg your pardon?
I'll ask the question in another way. If you're to change something in Uganda and you had the chance to do that, what would that thing be?
I think I would solve the problem of corruption in Uganda.
Yeah.
And Juliette?
I think I would solve problems of some business in the village there.
Oh. So as I can see, both your aspirations are community based and are humanitarian, and they are to solve the problems of your community, your village, your country as a whole. Of course, as Uganda, as Tunisia, we all have problems in our countries, such as corruption, etc. But we need to show the world the a better image and to show them that yes, we are in Africa, but this doesn't mean that we don't have the chances, we don't have the opportunities. It doesn't mean that we were deprived for many years from so many rights that we cannot do. Here we are doing, we have done a lot of things, and you can do that as well. We'll leave the stage for you to say anything at the end of the episode that you would like to ask or to say. Feel free to say anything that you wish to say.
Okay, I would like to thank you people so much because I very many people, so I have got to know you, so I thank you so much.
It is our pleasure. Juliette, nothing to say?
Yes, thanks.
You are welcome. Okay, Mr. Ben, if you have anything to tell us about before summing up everything and ending this episode.
Yes. Thank you very much, Slim. As we go for look to many more episodes that will be coming. We'll be connecting and then sharing a few things. I believe in the next call, we'll not meet only Juliet and Sharon. We'll be having other members who are yet to report back from their holidays. But the next call, I believe we shall be having many more people to talk to, and then to share a few things that we will be doing, and to share with the people, and then also to wait to hear more from you as per the new connection we are having. And like I said, as a CEO, I look forward to you people working with us at TAGA, you people spreading the good news of TAGA across the world, and letting the world know that there is an NGO in Uganda that is working hard for girl child to make sure that a girl child comes into a great woman in future, because that comes from the heart. She has come to change the world, that's come to change our mindset of what we think about girls.
Okay, it seems there's a problem with internet connection. Sorry. And okay, it seems there's a problem with the internet until the TAGA girls and Mr. Ben are back. Oh. Okay, and I guess they're back. Okay, now we can hear you quite well. Can you say something so that we can check that out?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I was saying I'm so grateful for the new connection between my organization and your organization. I'm looking forward to many more calls with many girls who have aspirations in future. And as I told you, that as TAGA, we are more than grateful for the new connection. We're waiting to hear more from you and waiting for you to spread the good news about TAGA to the whole world, so that people know that there's an organization in Uganda that is doing a great work for girl child and making sure that the girl child has been transformed into a woman, a great woman of this nation, and they are respected. Uh, Changing the perception for her, letting the world know that the girl child is a stronger person that can challenge the world. And it starts with technology, and that's why TAGA innovations are here to change the mindset of people. And I want you guys to know that we love you so much, and we are waiting.
Thank you. We do as well.
I'm waiting to hear much more from you. Sharon and Juliette, they are much more happy to hear about the good news. And when I call the dad, they are more than happy to come and share this with us. And we are hoping and waiting to have many more calls. Even if they're at school, I'll be calling them up at school for visitations and then seeing whatever they're doing and sharing them with you and organizing many much more calls and having such episodes again. I'm really grateful to your boss and tell him Alfred I love him so much and I want to thank him for the great connection and creating a future for girl child through TAGA. So thank you guys so much and all the blessings to you. Much more love and respect to you, team. You know what I mean by this. I already told you about it. That you two are a great to my organization. I thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. This way, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end of our episode. You will see this episode during the upcoming week in our social media, so everyone stay tuned with us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, etc. Subscribe, share this video, and do a thumbs up. This is the end of the episode. Thank you very much, and see you in another episode of the First Skills Podcast.